What's up everybody, Chris coming to you from Salty Island Games, and this week we're continuing our trend with Kill Team Octarius. So there's a couple of things we got going on here. First one is, I completed painting the terrain as well as the Krieg side. I'm pretty proud of this. This is my first miniatures that I've painted using an airbrush. So as you can see here, what I did is I put together the Kill Team kind of more aesthetically how I wanted it to look. You've got the Melt-A-Gun in there, you've got a Flamer, you've got the Zealot. Captain's got a chainsword because I thought the chainsword looked cool, and then you just got various guys in there. The veterans, the guy has the robot arm. That's a pretty cool piece in there. And I also thought to myself, what would a proper kill team from Krieg have? And I thought that a Basilisk was a great addition to a kill team of Krieg. So you've got that in there as well. I've got this in the black with some orange accent colors, kind of theming it with the dice. And as GW continues to release the Krieg models, I will probably be continuing to expand this into a full combat patrol size, and we'll just see how far it goes from there. So, wanted to show this off here. As you can also see, I've got pictures of the terrain, also painted with an airbrush in there. Got this done pretty quick. It's great for camera, and if you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, you'll probably get a notification when the upcoming battle report comes out, where we play a full game of combat patrol using the orc kill team terrain. Little teaser for all of you, it's actually going to be our house orc speed freak army that you saw in our very first battle report. They're back again. We've got our hands on the brand new 9th edition orc codex rules, and going up against them will be, for the first time, seeing my personal Thousand Suns army, also using the brand new 9th edition codex. So we got two 9th edition codexes going at it with each other. It's going to be a great battle report. So please go ahead and follow the channel. Really appreciate all of you guys' support. It has come to my attention that there are some of you out there who aren't familiar with the Death Korps of Krieg. Granted, they previously were a Forge World only model line, which made them extremely expensive and hard to get to the rules. And really recently they've gotten rules within the 8th edition Imperial Guards Codex. So we here at Salty Island are going to give you a bit of an abridged primer on who the people of Krieg are and why anybody even cares about them. So Krieg originally started out as what might arguably be the least interesting hive world in the Imperium. So interesting, in fact, that when the ruling class of the world got way too uppity for their own good and declared their independence from the Imperium and quite literally said, "Fuck God Emperor," the only reply that the Administratum sent back was, "Don't call us back till you get your shit together and fix this." In fact, it's so boring that the gods of chaos didn't even bother to intervene, step in, and take control of this planet. They were all like, "Nah, I'm gonna pass on this one." And they basically set out this entire story. Now, before giving the middle finger to the Imperium, the ruling class of Krieg had taken what they viewed as the proper steps to defend themselves, and they got ready to go to war. They had fortified their cities, they had personal armed forces, sufficient supplies to hold out against what they thought was going to be the oncoming siege. Why they thought Exterminatus was not an option, not really sure, but it appears they were right. One part, however, that they got wrong was that not everyone was on board with the idea of "fuck God Emperor." And one such individual was Colonel Jerton of the 83rd Krieg Regiment. Colonel Jerton was the rallying force behind the Loyalists and took control of one of the hives, but this was still one hive against the rest of the planet, so not great odds. To make matters worse, Colonel Jerton had also been informed by the Administratum in not so kind words that this problem was now his problem and that there would be no reinforcements coming, somewhat reiterating the message of "fix your shit, don't call me till you do." Now, Colonel Jerton did have one thing going for him, and that was the ally Archmagos Griel, who was still loyal to the Imperium as well. And, like all good tech priests, he knew a little secret hiding under the surface of the planet of Krieg. Nukes. Plural. Lots of them. So, on the blessed day of the Feast of the Emperor's Ascension, Jerton took the Imperium's order to heart, and with the Emperor in his heart, launched the nukes on his own planet. All of them. At the same time, across the entire planet. Now what happens next should be of course no surprise, as Jurton then turned the entire surface of the planet of Krieg into an uninhabitable nuclear wasteland, starting with raging fires, and then when that stopped, it basically turned into a nuclear winter with the ever-present fallout of radiation. Suffice to say, this more or less evened out the fighting real fast. The Loyalists then proceeded to spend the next few centuries fighting in the only inhabitable place, underground, conducting the most thorough purge of heresy that would bring a tear to even the most cruel inquisitor's eye. And, at long last, the message was finally transmitted back to the Imperium. All good, problem solved. Now, the Imperium, like any good bureaucracy, has many things to be concerned about, and this uppity little no-name planet was not on the list. What was a concern, though, is Krieg was about 500 years worth of Imperial tithe behind, and, like any good government, they aimed to collect with interest. What happened next, however, is what took Krieg from a no-name planet to what might be one of the most important planets in the Imperium. Krieg then sent back a message acknowledging the debt to the Imperium that was owed, and informed them that they were dispatching not one, but 20 regiments for immediate deployment, all fully trained, equipped, and with a specific request to fight in the worst war zones available. Not only that, but turns out that 500 years of breeding a people who fight non-stop on a planet where the very air is trying to kill you, in a never-ending underground siege, will create a population that is very good at fighting, and has zero sense of self-preservation. In addition, where a normal world of this size would tithe a regiment maybe once a generation, Krieg sends tens of regiments, yearly. This is the sort of thing where the High Lords of Terra take notice, and they decreed that nothing was to be allowed to interfere with Krieg continuing this process. Now there have been those that have wondered how a planet of this size of Krieg is able to produce so many well-trained soldiers each year, and rightfully so. But, luckily for Krieg, the Imperium have adopted the bureaucratic policy of look the other way because this benefits me. Regardless, Krieg's chief export is soldiers, incredibly effective, well-trained, and fanatically loyal to the Emperor. They are the descendants of a people who nuked their own planet and have been raised from birth knowing no hope, and the only thing they fear is failing the Emperor and bringing shame upon their planet. In fact, the people of Krieg truly believe that the heresy in their history can only be wiped clean by the Emperor's grace once they have sacrificed enough and proven their value to the God Emperor. And so they will never retreat, and they also know that even if they die, Krieg is producing more soldiers, so their lives have no value other than to die for the Emperor. There is one interesting note about this mentality. As people know, all Imperial Guard forces are assigned a commissar, really to help enforce morale, oftentimes at the end of a bolt pistol, really to help maintain order. These commissars are the only non-Krieg natives that serve within the Death Korps of Krieg. However, as you might have seen where this is going, the commissars assigned to Krieg regiments have had to find other ways to pass time, considering the remarkably low instances of morale issues, and these issues are often sorted out internally long before a commissar even takes notice of it. Often, the commissars lend their strategic expertise as advisors, and have often had to be the voice of reason during strategic planning, helping curb the Death Korps' somewhat standard strategy of, we have more bodies than you have bullets. Sometimes they also need to remind Krieg commanders that dying here does not really further the greater strategy of war. Other times, the commissars have had to act as liaisons when the forces of Krieg have to work alongside other Imperium forces. It seems that their fatalistic mentality and lack of value to human lives often leaves a bad taste in their allies' mouth. How bad do you have to be where an Imperial commander would willingly interact with a commissar rather than speak to anyone within the Death Korps of Krieg? Finally, a quick bit about the Krieg method of warfare. While they're extremely effective at fighting in any environment, Where they excel is at siege warfare, their preferred strategy being a mass charge over an extended front while artillery rains fire down upon their targets. Combine this with their high level of training and the self-awareness that their lives are meaningless because they are but one of millions of soldiers that Krieg produces daily, leads to a force that will not stop fighting till they're victorious or they're all dead. And if the Administratum have anything to say about it, this is not happening anytime soon. Thanks for checking out this quick primer on the forces of Krieg. If you like this sort of content, let me know. I really enjoy this hobby and setting, and I really enjoy getting to make content for all of you fans who watch it. So, you've seen the number of armies that we have here, and if you'd like to learn more about the lore behind them, let me know. I'll make a video about one of those too. Till then, please like the video and sub to the channel, and we'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.